Hey, it's the Golden Moose here, and welcome to another video. It's going to be another commentary. Before I get into the topic of today, which is another middle school stories video, before I get into that, I'm gonna just tell you that I will probably not be getting Black Ops 3, like, the day it releases, and I will not crank commentaries and spam your inboxes, like, when the game comes out, because I know how this is gonna be, okay? I know the YouTubers like T. Martin and Ali A. I guarantee you, they are going to post like 5 to 8 videos November 6th. So I will not do that to you. I probably won't even get the game till a week or two after it comes out. Because first of all, I need to choke up the money to go get the game to begin with. So I definitely need to choke up the money to get the game because I'm like poor. So I don't have any money right now. So I have it just sitting around. I just need to go find it. But the thing is, I don't want to spam everybody's inboxes. Yeah, I will make Black Ops 3 videos, and I will guarantee you I am getting Black Ops 3. Just when. Like, I'm not one of those people that buy it right when the game comes out. That's $60. I let it go out for a week or so the price lowers down to like 55 to 50 before I buy it. If I want to buy it right away, because I know how you're going to feel. Like, that's going to get spammed and spammed and spammed. So, and you get that out of the way. Also, I hope you enjoyed my Q&A. That went up on my channel that I took questions from like months ago and the one I just got now. So I'm gonna get into the topic. So today's video is going to be a middle school stories video. Like, when I say middle school stories, it's not always bad, okay? So basically I'm gonna give you a summarization first about this middle school stories. It's pretty much that we went on a field trip the other day, but it's not like a big one or whatever. We went to like the nearby like town to us. So all we did is when we went to the nearby town, we went to this like technical school, like, you know, there's like the tech schools around. I don't know if they're around where you live, but they're around where we live. There's a ton of tech schools. Took a field trip to one of them to see what like you want to do. Like, there's stuff like building computers and fixing cars and, you know, that type of stuff. So we went there on a field trip. So we got to see all different people who work on wood. This was last Thursday, not like today, who's Tuesday, but like 4 days ago. No, I can't even do my math anymore. It's just 5 days probably. But it was a fun trip overall. So I just wanted to say that we went to the field. We went on that trip. See people work with like wood and basically build, as I said, build computers, do like design and stuff. They were using Photoshop and like Google, I think it's Google Paint or it's just Paint, I don't know which one it is, but we saw them get to work with Paint. So we got to see them use some fun stuff. We got to play with like the remote control. I opened up the wrong door. I'm such an idiot. Should probably be like, why in the world am I opening up the wrong door? Thought the box was over here at first, but doesn't hurt. I'm still a good enough zombies player to open up the other side of doors within a round or two as well. So, there's perk number 2. Better land on that side or else I'm screwed. So, as I'm getting back to the story. So what happened is we sat there, we got to take a bus, like, to the thing. So, like, I think it was either on the way there or on the way back. I think it was pretty much hilarious because my friend Spencer got yelled at by our social studies teacher because he was like screaming on the bus and stuff. So we actually got yelled at. He says that your voice sounds like nails on a chalkboard. You should shut up right now. That's what he said to him. Like, that's a teacher saying that to a student. I won't mention names except for Spencer because he's just excluded. He gets his name mentioned everywhere. So we ended up doing that field trip. But then, like, we got back around lunch. I guess it was lunchtime. No, yeah, a little bit before lunch. So we got to go to what we call Win or Pep, which is basically like an extra enrichment activity, like during the middle of the day while you have your lunch split up into 2. So you have people eating A and B lunch, or like lunch 1 and lunch 2, whatever you want to call it. Because they can't have like all 3 grades eating at once. So they mix up the grades and you eat lunch. Whatever, but like before that, we have a thing called the stock market game, which is what I'm playing. We're actually doing pretty hot in there, but let me put it, my social studies teacher from last year, because the teachers can choose which activities they want to hold, and he chose to pick the stock market, and that is the most fun room of the day, because if you haven't heard any middle school stories from last year about this teacher in his room, it's like he lets you do almost whatever you want. So we finished, we got out of his room, and once we got out of his room, we went to recess, and went to 7th period, which for me is algebra. I have honors algebra 2, 7th period with like, which is basically, you know, algebra and a higher level of algebra, I guess I can say. I don't know why I'm trying to elaborate on that topic. So, we got there, we were doing our work, because what we do with it, flip class, we go home, we watch a video on, like, his website or whatever. So we go home, we watch a video on what the lesson's gonna be, and the next day we go in and do our homework. So, you know, it's like flip. Except today, well, not today, but it was last Thursday, we didn't have any, like, homework because he knew that we were going to be away and he couldn't do anything so there are 2 Algebra 2 classes and whatever, so we ended up, basically, after the class, so he has an extra Algebra 2 class, so we couldn't do anything because they want all the classes to be on the same page, or whatever, if you understand that, so that way, like, all the classes are learning the same thing at the same time. So, however, the other class missed it because they were at because we were at the technical school for their period. So we only got to go 7th and 8th period that day. So, with that in mind, after only going to the 2 periods, we couldn't do anything too, like, elaborate. So we ended up sitting there doing, like, he was showing us a new lesson on the smartboard or whatever. Like, if you don't have a smartboard, they're, like, fancy whiteboards, I guess you can call them. So, we pretty much just sat there because, like, after, like, learning the lesson, because it seems like nobody paid attention to him. Like, I know what we're talking about, but because I'm just, like, smart, I don't have to really, like, pay too hard of attention to understand what the topic is. So, like, I don't usually have to ask questions because I still understand what's happening. So, of course, we're just sitting there, and the power goes out. Like, this is the most interesting day, because first we went on a field trip, just 8th grade, which is where I'm in. Like, only 8th grade went on a field trip. So, like, the 7th and 6th graders sit there the entire day and do work. So we ended up coming back from I said the power was out. So for us, it was an interesting day. I have to see the power was out, and it was out for, like, the rest of the period. So we did basically nothing that entire, like, period at all. So we had one period which we watched a video on, because there's another science class during 5th period too, which is, like, and there's an algebra class during 5th period, so, like, you can't do anything and leave the other class behind because we have the same teacher. So it's pretty much just we watched a video, but right when we got in the hallway, because we have, like, I guess you can say, like, a 3-minute break, I think, to get from class to class. So when we, like, in between classes, we have the break just so that way you can get there in time. So by that time, right when we got outside his door, it was funny, right when we got outside his door, the power came on again. So we finished up our day, we went to homeroom, which homeroom is pretty fun too, because I have one of the best teachers ever for home. We watch videos all the time and stuff. So that's, like, my homeroom is when other ones do work, but I think that's just going to wrap it up for this video with this middle school stories video. Hope that you guys were entertained by the story, which some of you know what I'm talking about, who probably watch me that's from our school, and some of you don't. That's fine too, because hope you just had a fun time listening to the story and me blab on for 8 minutes. So please don't forget to comment, like, favorite, and subscribe for more content on this channel. See ya later.